Hello class, this is Dr. Fisher. In our last video we talked about adding animation. In this one I'm going to show you a couple of advanced tips as it relates to animation. So I'm going to click and I'm going to highlight this particular bullet point and I'm going to add fly in. And so what we're going to do as it relates to this quick technique is we're going to use fly in and then a second layer of animation from this add animation button. I'm going to fly out, and as the first bullet point flies out, the second one will fly in, and we're going to follow that sequence all the way down. So first, we've already applied fly in, but we need to add a second. You do not choose a second animation from this list. You have to come to the add animation button to do this. I'm going to click the drop down, scroll down, find fly out, and there it is. So now it has applied notice there are two numbers here, and also want you to click your animation pane. Make sure your animation pane is open over here on the right hand side. So you can see both of these animations here. The fly out is the last one we just applied. Now this gets to be a little bit tricky. It can be confusing. Just be careful. And it's not a problem. You're not going to mess up anything. So we're going to highlight the second one, and we're going to add fly in. And so fly in is on that one. Let's go back and highlight it again. We're going to add the second layer, which is fly out. And then we're going to do the third one. We're going to add fly in. And to be honest, we really don't need to have the third one to fly out because that's the last bullet point that you're going to deal with, unless you're doing something else after that. So this will all make sense in just a second when we look at it in slideshow. So the number 3, where we got fly in, we're going to click on that one over here. And we want to change it. The way it starts, we want it to fly in with previous, meaning when this bullet point, the first one flies out, the second one will fly in. Now click on number 4, and then we're going to change the way it starts with previous. And so now we have our numbers set, our sequence of events. Let's look at it in slideshow to see if it's going to work. I'm going to click on slideshow, and I'm going to click. There's the first bullet point. We talk about it. I'm going to click again. See, notice how the second one comes in, the first one goes away. We talk about it. We're going to click again, and the third one comes in. And that's why I said at this point you really don't have to put fly out on the last bullet point. I'm going to hit escape. What if, let me throw something else in here at you. What if you wanted a picture to come in at the same time that a bullet point comes in? Not a problem. I'm going to click on a picture, and let's choose a different animation this time. I'm going to choose, let's see, float in. Okay, so we want the picture to float in, but we want it to float in right after the first bullet point comes in. So what I'm going to do is click right there on number 4, because that's the last one that I just applied. Click and hold, and I'm going to drag it up under number 1. And I'm going to still highlight it over here. I'm going to change the way it starts to with previous. So now let's watch it, but there's one more thing we need to add to it. So let's click slideshow and see. See, notice the picture comes in with the first bullet point. The only problem is the picture stays there. You can have it or allow it to stay there, but you can also add that second layer. Let's hit escape. Second layer of animation so that it will fly out at the same time, or float out for that matter. All right, so float out. And so I'm going to drag this one up under where it says picture 8. And so I think that's right. So let's check it to see what's going to happen. Let's just check it. We're going into slideshow. I'm going to click, comes in, click again, it goes out. Now there's one less step we could take out. We could say fly out at the same time as the first bullet point, which is fine. But those are just some of the things. We can also mess with duration. Duration means if I increase the number, then it will float in or fly in quicker. If I decrease the number, it will, fly in much slower. You can delay it. It's a lot of cool things you can do here, but for the most part, that's just one little trick as it relates to advanced animation in PowerPoint.